Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the affiliate member information session for the Cambridge North Dumfries Ontario Health Team. My name is Patrick Gaskin. I am President and CEO at Cambridge Memorial Hospital, and I have the pleasure of being the Master of Ceremonies for this event, as well as being co-chair of both the operations and steering committees for the CNDOHT, which you're going to hear about as an amazing and exciting organization when we're super interested in your interest in becoming an affiliate member. Before we start, let's do our territorial acknowledgement. If we could go to the next slide. We acknowledge the lands on which we gather are the traditionally used by the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Chinootan people. We also recognize the enduring presence and deep traditional knowledge, laws, and philosophies of the Indigenous people with whom we share this land today. The Cambridge North Dumfries Ontario Health Team recognizes we are all treaty people with the responsibility to honor our relations and to live with each other in kinship. The CNDOHT, as well as our partner organizations, uphold the initial intentions of the treaty and to the best of our ability. So thanks again for joining today. I'm going to do the welcome and then we're going to share this presentation with a number of our leaders and people involved from the Ontario Health Team. And you'll get to hear from one of our newest members of the Ontario Health Team as well. And so with that, I will welcome and pass it over to Christina Eliashevsky, who is our CNDOHT transformation lead. And as Christina joins us, just remembered and let you know if you've got any questions, we're happy to answer them. Please submit them through the chat, through the Q&A. This is for you, and so we want to make sure that we answer questions that you might have. And if there's any other information that you need, contact the email that you see on the screen or any one of us that are speaking today. As I said, we're really excited in your interest. We would welcome you to the organization. We're doing amazing things that you're going to hear about. And with that, I'll pass it over to one of our instrumental people who makes the amazing things happen. Christina, over to you.
Thanks so much, Patrick, and thank you for that introduction. Welcome, everyone. We are so delighted to have you here today, and thank you for your interest in joining the CNDOHT as an affiliate member. To get us started, we just wanted to level set with the 101 of what Ontario Health Teams are. And looking at who's at the line, I've interacted with many of you already, and so I think this is probably just a recap at this time. But so we have a common understanding. Ontario Health Teams, or what we'll refer to as OHTs, are a newer model of integrated care that are intended to facilitate a coordinated, seamless continuum of care for patients and caregivers. What's really exciting about Ontario Health Teams versus how we've organized care in the past is that we're moving beyond our more traditional partnerships to more innovative, holistic approaches to well-being for our communities. So on the right side there, you see an overview of the various sectors that are represented currently at our Cambridge North Dumfries Ontario Health Team table. And you have, those more traditional partners and sectors, mental health and addictions, home and community care, hospital, but we're really proud to have primary care really centered in how we design and look at the system. We have municipalities, housing, social services, long-term care, and so really rounds out how we approach the well-being of Cambridge North Dumfries. Next slide, please. And so what do Ontario Health Teams look like provincially? Currently, there are 51 Ontario Health Teams in the province covering, I believe it's about 90% of the population at this point. So only a few kind of uncovered regions. So many OHTs at various levels of development. Here in Waterloo, Wellington, we have 3 OHTs, so ourselves, Kitchener, W4, and Guelph Wellington, and we work very collaboratively together. Again, looking at the attendee list, we do have some regional providers, and just to reassure you that we work closely and coordinate and collaborate across the 3 OHTs in Waterloo, Wellington. So that is the 101 for you, and I'm really excited to welcome kind of our keynote speaker, if we will, Tracy Elop, who is the Chief Executive Officer at Horizon Family and Community Services, who is here to tell us a little bit about their organization's experience as an affiliate member. And as Patrick mentioned, Horizon just this summer became a full member of the Cambridge North Dumfries OHT. And so, Tracy, we are super excited to have you here to tell us a little bit about what it means in real life to be a CNDOHT affiliate member.
Thank you so much, Christina. No pressure being the keynote speaker. Really pleased to be here today and share with you a little bit about our experience with the Cambridge North Dumfries OHT and in particular as an affiliate member. I would say the first thing that I could talk about maybe are the benefits of being involved. So what does it give you as an organization when you're thinking about whether or not you want to get involved with this? Christina mentioned all of the different partners that are around the table, and I think that's one of the areas that we've benefited from, is being able to develop the relationships with the people around the table. And so often I think as not-for-profit organizations, we are focused on the specific work that we do, and we do that exceptionally well. And sometimes we forget to do that in the context of a broader system. And so for me, having been able to develop the relationships with long-term care, acute care, primary care, other social services agencies, and understand the pressure points that they're facing. And so many times the pressure points are similar across the organizations, and giving us an opportunity to think through that together. I think that really bodes well for us as a system. So as an affiliate member, you have the opportunity to participate in that, but you also have the opportunity to step away from that as well, depending on what you're most keenly interested in and how that affects your organization. So I think the ability to develop those relationships and meet the key people in those organizations, the opportunities to think through collaboration differently on a smaller scale, maybe as an affiliate than as a full partner. I think it also helps you with your system view. And I'll give one example that acquired brain injury was something that I hadn't really spent much time thinking about. And yet through the experiences at the OHT, I'm more and more aware of acquired brain injury as it pertains to mental health challenges. And I hadn't really thought about that. And I think it also will give you an opportunity to feed information to your board, to give them a broader perspective. The whole system of health is trying to transform. And so as an affiliate member, you get a sense of what's happening at the Cambridge North Dumfries OHT, how the system is changing, and you can start to piece together how you might contribute to that system transformation. So I think all of those kind of fit in as benefits. So when I look back at Horizon's experience, and I should have maybe said upfront, Horizon is in the mental health and well-being space. We serve Waterloo region as a whole. And when I think about the active participation that Horizon has had in the OHT over the last number of year and a half, I think about it in a few ways. One, the COVID recovery and COVID response table. That's a table that I've been actively participating in, meeting every couple of weeks, sharing information about what the COVID pressures are, what people are doing, how we can work together. So even as an affiliate, getting really involved with that and in the deep problem solving has happened. Also, the ability to raise potential ideas forward. So at one point in our space, we were looking at the support needed for those in the restaurant sector. And there was sort of an employment issue during COVID and this great need for people in the acute healthcare sector. So you have people who are unemployed and you have a system in the health system that actually needs people. So trying to put those two groups together, and that wouldn't have happened without, I think, some OHT involvement and developing those relationships. And I think, you know, again, I would say there's really that value as an affiliate of being able to decide how much you can give, being informed of what's going on. And as an affiliate, one good benefit is there's no fee that's involved with being an affiliate. So you can come and participate, start to develop those relationships and see whether that leads you to a greater involvement in the future as a partner member, which is what we've decided to do. So we're really excited to be now at the table as a full partner member, really contributing and trying to still find our way to how we can contribute best as a full partner member, but really excited to be part of the system of transformation in Cambridge North Dumfries. So I think now that's all I have to say, and I will pass things over to Chris.
Thanks, Tracy. Excellent overview. I appreciate you joining us and sharing the experience that you've had. My name is Chris Castellato. I am the Executive Director of the Two Rivers Family Health Team in Cambridge. And I'm also the co-chair with Patrick on the Operations Committee and the Steering Committee. So I am just going to review a few slides. The first one is a short about us video about the OHT. So I am going to, once we flip to the next slide, it'll start automatically.
The Cambridge North Dumfries Ontario Health Team is made up of many service providers and agencies from Cambridge, North Dumfries, and Waterloo Region.
We will reorganize and deliver healthcare in a different way for our communities, working together as one team to deliver
hospital care,
primary care,
long-term care,
rehabilitative care,
addiction services,
mental health services, and more.
We are building integrated care systems that provide seamless, fully coordinated community care to achieve better outcomes for patients and improved health for all.
Inclusive, accessible, adaptable, connected. We envision a community where people access seamless and integrated services to ensure the health and well-being of our diverse populations. Your Cambridge North Dumfries Ontario Health Team.
So this next document is a strategic framework for 2022 to 2025. And we've been working on this for about a year, and we worked with a wide range of stakeholders, from primary care to hospitals to mental health, long-term care, and a variety of other organizations in our community, patients, caregivers, clinicians, physicians, and kind of that overview of our vision there. You see, we envision a community where people access seamless and integrated services to ensure the health and well-being of our diverse populations. So we've gone through this process the last year. We still have some work to deal with the more finite details of making sure we can do this. So I won't go through all this document, so you can look at it when you have a chance. Just touch on a few highlights, like our 4 values, which is inclusion, connected, accessible, and adaptable. And I'll review our three main cornerstone strategies. Put patients, families, and caregivers at the center of a redesigned healthcare experience. Improve collaboration, care coordination, and knowledge sharing across all partners. And reducing barriers such as discrimination, stigma, culture, and language to improve access to care. So, and the key part I'll highlight at the bottom there is the enabling strategy. Implement digital health tools to increase access to care, improve care coordination and collaboration, and to enable evidence-informed planning and decision-making. So I think we'd all agree that the digital connections between all of our organizations is not where it needs to be. And how do we speak to each other? How do patients have seamless healthcare? How do we have a patient chart and patient information that can be viewed by a variety of organizations that are taking care of that patient? So a lot of great work is happening in the digital health area. And that's a lot of our priorities and us moving forward to transform our healthcare. So please, may have some time for some questions on this. You're welcome to read it a little bit deeper, but we'll move on to the next slide. And this kind of gives you a visual of how we at the CNDOHT operate and make decisions. So it's been an interesting 3-year process to come together, trust each other, and figure out ways that we can make decisions as a group. So with the whole idea of looking into that center of this diagram, that the priority populations are our key center point. Frail older adults, medically complex, and mental health and addictions. And that's really where all of our conversations and decisions start with. And it is a lot of those patients present at primary care. And how do we provide the services and wraparound services to these patients to make sure they get the care they need? So you can see the different circles, the little colorful circles around the main circle. And these are all groups, working groups, co-design teams, and processes that make sure we are looking after and setting up processes to be able to take care of our priority populations. Just identify a few of those circles. Number one on the left side there is a COVID-19 response table. We as an organization have brought together all the different groups. Tracy mentioned it in her talk. Every 8 a.m. on Tuesday mornings, the COVID-19 response table. And we would have anywhere from 25 to 40 different organizations represented every week for 2 years. We've reduced the frequency a little bit now to 2 or 3 weeks because COVID hopefully is improving. But we talked on a weekly basis and made sure we were able to help each other, and PPE needs that we were able to share amongst organizations in the community. IPAC and other human resource, we were able to transfer staffing to help organizations in need. So that's just one little circle of this big, massive program. Another big one that's going on now is the Connecting Care Circle. And you can see 2 different streams. One is the mental health and addictions, and what is the medical complexity and older adult work streams. And these are a group of stakeholders, almost subject matter experts in our community, with a great wide, diverse group from many organizations in the community that are talking about transformation in care and how do we do things better and how do we spend our resources better in those specific areas. So, and it's a great mix of administration people, clinicians, physicians, subject matter experts, Ontario health assistants, public health, and people from the hospital and people from primary care. And it's just such a great mix of knowledge and backgrounds, and hopefully we come out with a great product at the end. So that's just a couple examples of that inner circle. Now, if you see that green band on the outside, it all, I guess, centers from the steering committee. And the steering committee has been in operation for 2.5 years. And it is one executive director or CEO or president of each of our member organizations. We meet on a monthly basis and we talk about the strategy and decision making. And it's a great group to talk about some of these tough issues and decide on how we are going to move forward. And to the left of that is the operations committee, and that is a smaller subsection of the bigger steering committee. Sometimes it's hard to make decisions with 20 or 22 people, and we will help guide some of those decisions in a smaller group, but then obviously bring it back to the steering committee on a monthly basis. And then on the other right side is the joint board committee. Now that is one board member from each of our organizations, and they meet on a monthly basis after hours, 5:30 on a Monday, and they get together and talk about governance, strategy, budgets, and helping to guide the steering committee and really working well together. Between the steering committee and the joint board committee, we have great cross-reference between both committees, where Patrick and I will attend the joint board committee, and several of one of their board chair or assistant board chair will join our committee as well. So it's been a great collaboration between the two teams. So again, I'll leave the rest of that you can take a look on it on your own time and certainly ask any questions if you do have that. So I will pass it back to Christina now.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Chris. And so I'll spend a few minutes just talking about the recruitment process for new affiliate members before I pass it back to Patrick to facilitate a bit of a Q&A. So just a reminder, feel free to use the chat to let us know of any questions that you have. You can send to everyone or to hosts and panelists, I believe. So feel free to put your questions in there as I go over this last piece of our presentation. So first about affiliate membership, this is actually our first official call for affiliate membership since our initial application as a cohort 1 OHT over 2 years ago. So you're kind of part of that inaugural process. We do have a membership policy for our OHT that was developed over the last 2 years by our steering committee and the joint board committee that sets out what each of the kind of tiers of a membership look like and what's involved in each level. And so these pieces are pulled out from that membership policy. So a little bit about what it means to be an affiliate member. Number one, we see it as the entry level stage towards full membership in the CNDOHT. So as you heard from Tracy, their organization just recently became a full member, with affiliate membership being that first step. I do want to add the caveat that affiliate membership does not guarantee full membership, but it is that first step to full membership. Affiliate members are entitled to regular information updates, but will not participate in decision-making activities. So that's why I find that visual that Chris described with the circle helpful, because that broader circle of strategy and decision-making is reserved for full members. However, affiliate members are welcome to be part of that implementation sphere of influence, part of the working groups, part of our COVID-19 table, and receiving regular information updates. Next, affiliate members are entitled to participate in OHT education and training at their own cost. So a benefit of becoming a full member, hopefully eventually, is that we do cover different types of education and other opportunities for our members, but certainly want to make these opportunities available to our affiliate members. Affiliate members are entitled and encouraged to engage in service coordination, and that is through the working groups, our work streams, our co-design groups. And finally, affiliate member may be eligible to apply to become a member after 1 year. So after 1 year, we can engage in that conversation. And at this point, we're looking at an annual recruitment cycle for affiliate membership as well as new membership. Next slide, please. As per our membership policy, the eligibility for membership to the CNDOHT as an affiliate member is that you provide medical and/or social services within the geography of Cambridge, North Dumfries, and to our attributed population, and that your work aligns with the CNDOHT vision and mission. And so we will be introducing our expression of interest application form. And when you review it, you'll see that the questions align with these eligibility requirements. At the top there, we've also outlined for you our priority populations. So every Ontario Health team self-identified priority populations, and in Cambridge, North Dumfries, we identified frail older adults, mental health and addictions, and those with medical complexity. And so when we look at affiliate membership and membership, we certainly are prioritizing organizations that support these priority populations, but not limited to organizations that support these priority populations. Next slide, please. So next steps with today's information session, we are launching the call for expressions of interest for affiliate membership to our OHT. So it's going live as we speak, and we will provide you with the link to access it. We do understand that organizations may want to engage their boards of directors or other stakeholders in conversations around the implications of becoming an affiliate member and making that decision. And so we have about a month that the call for expressions of interest will be open, so that hopefully you have time for that engagement and enough time to get those expression of interest forms back to us. So we will close acceptance on October 21st. And then we will go through our review process through our governance and accountability working group, as well as our operations steering and joint board committee to review the applications and approve new membership. And we anticipate being able to communicate back around new affiliate members in November. Next slide, please. So our staff support team has done a phenomenal job in getting a one-stop shop for information for potential new affiliate members together on our engagecnd.com website. So Hava will post that link in the chat for you, and we encourage you to copy and paste it and have a look. What you'll find when you go to that website is kind of key documents. Many of the items that Chris mentioned in his 101 around the CNDOHT are accessible there. We also have the link to the expression of interest form directly from that webpage. There is also a Q&A box where you are free to ask any questions that you have following today's session. And for those watching the recording, feel free to use that Q&A box at any point. We receive those submissions directly. And you will see that there is direct contact information for our team on that website. So please have a look at the Engage CND page and encourage you to complete that expression of interest form. If any questions, of course, we're happy to answer any now, but feel free to reach out to our team via that Q&A box on that page or via the contact. We also want to hear from you just about this session. As I mentioned, this is our first time opening a call for expression of interest for new affiliate members. And so we have a survey that will be put there in the chat for you. And we would really appreciate your feedback on today's session. So with that, I will pass it back to Patrick to facilitate any Q&A that is coming through. And Patrick, I have one question for you that's coming in that I can kick us off with before we review the rest of the questions. What are the benefits of becoming an affiliate member from the perspective of COVID-19 response is the question. And so Patrick or Chris, I'm happy to speak to it as well, but that might be a good question to kick us off with.
Yeah, I think, as with all of us through the waves, our response internally within each organization and collectively has ebbed and flowed like the waves. But so now, Christina will remind me whether we've committed to every other week or once a month that we touch base and bring together. Chris talked about kind of 40 people on a call. Like we bring together, share information, make sure everyone's well supported, getting vaccine information out as any service disruptions that people are having. So from an affiliate point of view, you're invited to that table. lots of information sharing around it happening every week through certain waves, less so right now. As we come into the fall, we'll see whether we have to amp it up. So, my short answer would be it's that opportunity for information sharing, and also then supports and relying on each other if you need something. And so, obviously more heavily called upon during earlier waves where, staff moving around and how do we support each other, and supplies moving around, to kind of a general kind of awareness and collective support. But it doesn't, it even in currently doesn't negate more deeper collaboration and response as we need to. Christina, Chris, happy if you want to add or share a different sort of a different perspective on it.
No, that was great, Patrick. Just one small thing to add is, as part of Christina's meeting, we have a member check-in. So all members have the opportunity to reach out and talk to the group and say, here's my challenge, this is what I need. You could do that kind of in that larger group setting, or we could also take that offline and help individually. So yeah, it's just been a really great group that a lot of our organizations that may be a little bit smaller don't have the skill sets within our organization for IPAC or some HR stuff or PPEs, securing PPE, or there's been a long list of things. So even as a family health team, I found it very valuable because I don't have some of those resources on my team to be able to learn from others. And it's been an amazing opportunity, and it really has built trust and ability to lean on others. You're not there alone. I think that's the biggest message.
For sure. Magic wand or not, where are we going to be a year from now?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a very, very big question, Patrick, because we have so much that we hope to accomplish in 1 year. As you saw from that overview, we have quality, performance, digital health, health equity. There's just so many pieces of this. But I think, again, how that visual defines how all those pieces come together around the priority populations. I think the magic wand, or that kind of silver bullet of what we can accomplish in 1 year, is to actually see one of our change concepts that is provider and patient developed, driven, co-designed, which is the vision for how we're doing this work, actually hit the ground in a year. And I am confident that we'll do that. We have some incredible ideas coming out of our co-design groups that I know will have an impact on our communities, and really excited to see that change happen collaboratively.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fantastic answer, because I think, it took us 80 years to develop the mess of a system we have right now. We're not going to get out of it and improve it in all of it instantly overnight. I'll keep people on hold about what the deputy minister said, because there's a question in the chat, and Christine, why don't I put that one to you about attending? Do affiliate members get to attend OHT meetings? And yeah.
It's a great question. So yes, affiliate members get to attend certain OHT meetings. And so as you saw in that structural overview, we kind of have two tiers of our meetings. One tier is our decision-making and strategy meetings, and those are for members, so reserved for full members of the OHT who have kind of paid in, been approved as full members. They sit at the decision-making tables. Affiliate members are welcome to attend all of those other implementation and planning tables, from COVID-19 response to our co-design groups, health equity work streams around our priority populations. So there are lots of opportunities to actively influence the shaping of our system through those tables.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great way of summarizing it. That inner circle of kind of where the work's going to happen, but choosing some of the work and kind of setting which are our priorities and allocating the budget and what are we hiring and all that kind of stuff is outside the affiliates, but you want to be part of the conversations and the teams that are doing the work to transform care, to examine our priority populations, to look at our quality scorecard, to talk about our digital transformation that we want to accomplish. Absolutely, we want affiliates there. Fantastic. So no question is a dumb question. So hope, Rika, that answers it. If not, pop another question or follow up into the chat. So I had the pleasure, as I said, it was the Ontario Hospital Association, so 140 hospitals and the CEOs and board chairs only what we did yesterday is had, as I said, the deputy minister and Matt Anderson from Ontario Health for an hour conversation, and it was really good. And at the fundamental of it, I was so pleased to see the number of times OHTs came up in the conversation. Like really heartened to see the commitment around redesign of the system, around working together, around the importance of engagement of primary care. Absolutely kind of coming to the forefront in the conversations, both from the deputy and from Matt. And so, like, at times it's like, what's the future? What's OHT going to look like? And we heard in spades yesterday the importance that we are not designing a hospital-centric system, and maybe because it was delivered to hospitals, they were maybe wanting to stress that message. We are designing. We want to move to a system with strong patient engagement and primary care focused. And we think, as we all know, if we think about that, like where do we get most of our care? Well, we don't get here at Cambridge Memorial Hospital. You're getting it at primary care, and so I think it was really heartening to see. Another question that's come up even locally is, and Tracy talked about being a regional provider, so she has to set a few tables. Is like, well, are there going to be less Ontario health teams than there are right now? And Matt Anderson said there is no design on the books right now to consolidate Ontario health teams. He didn't close the door on that. He said in the future we can look at it. Well, we said the expectations of it, but there's no grand design around that. Another question in the chat, and Christina, maybe I'll come back to you around this one. Are there funding benefits to joining as an affiliate member?
Yeah, so I started typing a response there just in case we ran out of time at 1:15, but I will speak to that quickly. So at this time, CNDOHT funding is limited to implementation funding. So that's kind of core funding to support our backbone team, to support planning and implementation. Of course, in the future, there still is a vision that funding for the health system would flow through OHTs, but we're not there quite yet. However, we are finding that both at our planning tables and our decision-making tables, that both members and affiliate members are benefiting from finding efficiencies, both through resource sharing, through kind of in-kind, reducing duplication. And so I would say that that is a real benefit that we've identified across OHT tables.
Super. And again, if we didn't fully answer that, follow up, reach out to Christina. With 1:14, I was told we would get the hook at 1:15, but you said I don't have the time on my clock. So last word to you, second last word to you, Christina. Any parting thoughts, questions, or comments you want to say, and then I'll say the final words.
We are just delighted to hopefully welcome many of you to our collaborative. We do exciting work, and as you heard from Patrick and Chris as our steering committee co-chairs, they are absolutely committed to kind of welcoming all into this system and working with you. And if you have any questions as you go about that expression of interest, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us.
I would echo that. I think it is, a fantastic organization, and I've been here 13 years. What I love about Cambridge North Dumfries is our ability to come together. We did it pre-OHT. Now we have a more formal mechanism to do it. It's really that opportunity around how do we want to and meet the needs of our patients and residents in different ways. Come join the party, because it's a great organization. And follow up on our website, cndoht.ca, I think, for the website, and reach out to Christina, other members of the OHT, Chris or I as co-chairs, anyone to answer your questions. Thank you very much for joining in today, and have a great rest of the day.